This may seem like something completely counterintuitive since I was just talking about how it is not sustainable to count calories. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If we're honest, none of us really want to be counting calories, but it sometimes seems like counting calories is the only way that is effective for losing weight. And that's really not true. Counting calories is not the only way that you can lose weight. You can also lose weight through intuitive eating. For myself, I pretty much cycle between when I want to count calories and when I don't want to count calories. Maybe if I'm like seriously cutting, then I want to count calories. But if not, then I'm pretty much sticking to not doing it because that's not something that I want to do. And right now, I'm actually transitioning to intuitive eating. My goal is still to lose weight, but with right now, I just have so much going on in life that it isn't really feasible for me to count calories. So instead, I'm looking to intuitive eating to still help me achieve my goals. And if you're looking to still lose weight, but not necessarily count calories, I'm hoping that this is an option that might work out for you. And if you're looking for more details about how you can transition to intuitive eating, then just keep on watching. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're definitely growing the family and would love for you to be a part. Now, let's get into those tips. Okay, now first let's break down intuitive eating. What is it? Intuitive eating is basically a way of eating mindfully while also listening to your hunger cues. That's basically it, like nothing else to it. Now the details of how to do it are what I want to get into next. So now that we know what intuitive eating is, how can it actually help you? It's really educational. First of all, those claims on the boxes are complete lies and have nothing to do with what the actual nutritional value is. These are just claims, and legally, they can do that. However, the key is that the nutrition facts tell exactly what things are. But if you're not trying, Kobe, I need you to, okay, all right. So you may be wondering how eating intuitively can help you. First of all, it helps you to eat more healthfully so that it becomes more of like a lifestyle change rather than a quick fix. Second, diet can be a trigger word, something that actually makes you run away for fear that whatever is included in this diet will make you starve. Or you may try to run to it because you think it is that quick fix. And most of the time, any type of quick fix will always revert because you don't have the foundation in order to keep it going. Also, there's nothing wrong with switching up your foods from time to time. Yes, it is helpful for you as a person who's learning about food to understand what the nutrients are of different types of foods and how they affect your body, but you may get bored with those. Honestly, you will get bored with those, and that's completely fine. What you'll need to do is just switch up to things that maybe just like it, which will help you to not need so much mental strength to figure out what the nutritional value may be of it. Just think of it as like a transition from spinach to kale. They're very similar in caloric value, similar in nutritional value, so it won't actually make you have to think in order for you to want it. It's just more that it gives you a different taste. Also, it's a great way to improve your relationship with food. I don't think that we actually pay too much attention to our relationships with food and how it actually impacts so many things around us. As you are trying to transition to intuitive eating, it makes you pay attention to food. It makes you think more about how things are affecting your body, but also how things are actually serving your body and supporting you in whatever activities that you're trying to do. All right, now that we've broken everything down about intuitive eating, let's jump into the tips. Tip number 1, start by counting your calories and macros. This may seem like something completely counterintuitive since I was just talking about how it is not sustainable to count calories all the time just because mindfully it can just be very stressful. I know it's stressful for me, so I know that's something I'm not gonna do all the time. It's just something that I do sometimes. The reason that counting calories and macros is so important is because it gives you a good foundation of just understanding what the nutritional value is in particular foods, especially your favorite foods. And even when it comes to foods that you're eating out, it's good to know the number of calories that are in it. What I love right now is that a lot of apps provide the number of calories. Like if I'm going to get a sandwich or a soup from Panera, it tells the amount of calories that are in that food right in the app. So I know before I even order the food what it's actually made of when it comes to calories. It may not break down the nutritional fact. I might need to do a little bit of more digging to find that information, but at least I know from the beginning where I stand. It also helps you to learn how to put low-calorie complete meals together. And when I say a complete meal, that's including like your vegetable, your protein, whatever carb that you're going to have, and making sure that you are kind of well-rounded with whatever your meal is. Apps like MyFitnessPal really help you to learn how to count calories of like your favorite foods, as well as just being more mindful because you're actively tracking not only your food intake, you can track your water intake as well as your exercise. My second tip to using intuitive eating for weight loss is to research portion sizes. Yes, calories really help you to know what is in a food, but if you're not really aware of what a portion size or a serving size is of a food, then you may really be having multiple amounts of a type of food, and that can really increase your calorie so high. If you're not sure, look on the packaging of foods. Most likely you are receiving more than one portion of food, even when it comes to fruits. When it comes to an avocado, for example, a whole avocado is actually 3 servings of a fruit. And if you end up having a whole avocado, you're actually having 3 times the amount of fat than what you're supposed to be having for that food. You can look on the nutritional label of packaged foods in order to learn what serving sizes are. If you're not sure of what a serving size is for a type of fruit, Google can tell you, but you can also look at apps like MyFitnessPal. There's also Lifesum that can give you that information as well. When you're researching, please be sure to be mindful of healthy, high-calorie foods. I already mentioned avocados, but there's also nuts, nut butters that have a high amount of fat. You have dried fruits that can have a high amount of sugar, and then you have breads and crackers that can have a high amount of carbs. My third tip for intuitive eating for weight loss is to eat meals that are in coordination with your workouts. I actually eat differently on days when I have a lot of cardio versus days when I'm doing more strength training. Cardio helps you to lose more calories initially, while strength training helps you to burn more calories over a longer period of time. When you have a cardio day that is really long, you want to make sure that you have enough carbs that will support that versus your strength training days where you may need more protein. For me, I like to eat oatmeal on my high cardio days because it has a good amount of healthy carbs as well as fiber, versus when it is one of my strength training days, then I'm more likely to have yogurt because it has a high amount of protein. So my fourth tip for intuitive eating for weight loss is for you to listen to your body. This is foundational for intuitive eating. In order for you to even use your intuition, that means you have to be listening to whatever your mind, muscles, stomach, whatever those pieces are all doing together, you have to be listening for them. And that just means recognizing when you're full, recognizing when you're truly hungry, even if you don't eat until you're absolutely full and stuffed, just so that you are actually satiated. That is the key to you not overeating and just still giving your body what it needs. And another thing that we don't really do is don't eat when you're not hungry. And I know that sometimes emotions may play a big role in this if you have a lot going on. But if you are eating when you're not hungry, you're really likely to overeat, get in additional calories that your body doesn't need, and that will go against your goal of losing weight. To be honest, I do a lot of mindless snacking if I'm just sitting at my desk all the time. So often I am getting up and moving around so that I'm not just sitting and just chomping on food all the time. Also, often when you feel like you might be hungry and you just want to be snacking, just drink some water. Most likely your body is thirsty and not really hungry. You have to recognize the difference for yourself. So my fifth tip to intuitive eating for weight loss is to really start with the basics. There's no need to get complicated with the types of foods that you're eating. Really just start with vegetables, fruits, protein, and carbs. Your body needs those. Whether it's the rice that you need, pasta versus any sort of meat or plant-based protein like beans, those are all foods that your body needs. So just start with small things. Don't get too caught up in making extravagant meals. I know watching YouTube, you can get really creative, but it can also be overwhelming. So maybe start with only 2 or 3 different types of vegetables until you get bored and want to start switching things up. And then you can kind of expand to more and more and more. Being overwhelmed by the variety of vegetables, fruits, and just different options that you have can really discourage you from making progress and really make you think that you have to do so much, and really simplicity is key. So my 6th tip for intuitive eating for weight loss is for you to get into a routine with your eating. It doesn't mean that you have to eat the same thing every day, but maybe eat around the same time every day. That really helps your body too to learn about like hunger cues and when it is that you actually are hungry. It's amazing how our bodies get used to things so quickly. You'll surprise yourself, I'm sure. Also, it may help for you to eat predominantly the same types of foods. Like I mentioned before, spinach and kale, or if you're eating different types of beans, that may help your body as well to get used to what it is that you're eating and digest it easier as well. So my 7th tip for intuitive eating for weight loss is for you to use the 80-20 rule. Basically, that means that you will be eating 80% of healthy foods while you eat 20% of unhealthy foods. And unhealthy foods can be whatever it is that you love, whether that's milkshakes, fried foods, whatever your guilty pleasure is, but you're only having that 20% of the time, while 80% you are eating those healthy, wholesome vegetables and fruits and proteins and all of those good things. While you're using this 80-20 rule, you may just want to keep in mind that fried foods and sweets can really cause you to derail from your progress, and you kind of have to weigh whether or not it's worth it. I'm definitely not saying to eat perfectly at all. I'm just saying that you just want to monitor things closely. Having fried foods every day definitely won't work out for you. But maybe using an air fryer or eating more at home might be a better option for you versus trying to eat out all the time when it comes to your fried foods. Just something to consider there. You just never know what restaurants are putting in foods and how they're making foods because you're not cooking it. Just something that you just want to be mindful of as you are going on this journey. If you're trying to weigh the difference between counting calories versus intuitive eating, and if you're trying to figure out which one is best for you right now, then you definitely want to check out this next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.